Hey, everybody. Oh, great way to open up with a phlegm in the throat. I hope you are having a fantastic day. I am having one. Well, I'm having a day. But let's go ahead and get episode 4 started. I know. I keep saying I'm going to make a new one, which I will. But I do enjoy that one so much. And yes, I am very much aware that it is loud. Kind of one of the cool things about it, though. So, I've got a fun-filled stream today. I would like to go over a crazy religious cult, a disastrously scary environmental situation, and the father of the periodic table. I would also like to share with you a couple YouTube channels that I'm very fond of, and the usual, just fun stuff. Now, the first thing I would like to give a big shout out to is the Fandom Collective. They are absolutely wonderful, and they do a great job of bringing people together, bringing channels together, tweeting out when one of us uploads. Sorry about that. Tweeting out when one of us uploads and the usual. Yeah, that's not better at all. Probably worse. I know. What kind of asshole doesn't have his shit set up beforehand? This kind. So first thing I would like to talk about is Dmitry Mendeleev. Let me start by getting his name correct. Now, first of all, I have to give a huge shout out to Mike Sutton, who writes for Chemistry World, because that is where a good amount of this information is coming from. Because I do have a pretty good memory, but I put it somewhere and can't remember where I put it. So there's that. Anyways, for those who are unfamiliar, this gentleman, Dmitry Mendeleev, is the one who formed the periodic table. This is just an amazing dude who's very much inspired me. So, now the urge to discover patterns in our surroundings appear to be a fundamental human trait. Now, thousands of years ago, our remote ancestors built massive stone monuments that were precisely aligned to significant points in the annual solar cycle. That's right, we built clocks and we built calendars with just sticking rocks in specific places. Now, in the 19th century, thoughtful chemists noticed family resemblances among the elements and tried to embed them into a pattern. Well, a century and a half ago, Dmitry Mendeleev took a crucial step in this search. He brought order amongst the elements. He published the first draft of his periodic table, and the worldwide community of chemists is celebrating this anniversary, and rightfully so. Now, like Stonehenge, the table reflects regularities in nature which were due to causes that remained mysterious when it was originally constructed. But how did Mendeleev come to build the periodic table? See, Dmitry grew up in Serbia, on the outer edge of Western civilization. Many would say not even in Western civilization. His home, Tobolsk, is 1,000 kilometers nearer to Beijing than to Paris, and the pathway from there to scientific eminence was difficult. Now, he was the youngest of more than a dozen siblings. I have read as many as 15 and as low as 13. Now, soon after his birth in 1834, ill health forced his father, Ivan, a high school teacher, into retirement. Now, the inadequacy of Ivan's pension drove his wife, Maria, to take up the management of a semi-derelict glassworks that had previously been run by her brother, and badly, I might add. Now, this enterprise supported the family until about 1848, when the glassworks burned down. And then Ivan died. And in 1849, Maria, his mother, took her two youngest children to Moscow, hoping that her brother would help Dmitri enter university there. Well, this plan failed. So they moved to St. Petersburg, and in 1850, Dmitri was somewhat accepted by the college where his father had trained as a teacher. Alexander Voskresensky, who had studied in Germany under Justus Liebig, encouraged Dmitri's interest in chemistry. Now, he graduated in 1855, and his dissertation on isomorphism and other relationships between physical form and chemical composition was published in a mining journal. That's right, a mining journal. And he wrote further articles, and he lacked income, however, because by then both his mother and his sister had died, and he was suffering from tuberculosis. However, a year teaching in the more benign climate of the Crimea did improve his health significantly, and a new doctor confidently dismissed tuberculosis as the cause of his illness. Now, in the autumn of 1856, Mendeleev successfully defended a master's thesis on relationships between specific volumes of substance and their crystallographic and chemical properties. Shortly afterward, the University of St. Petersburg licensed him as a chemistry tutor, allowing him access to a laboratory. And in 1859, he received state 2 years of advanced study abroad. Now, the common story that everyone loves to tell about Dmitri is he was an illiterate, poor farmer who had no education. This is not correct. It is an exaggeration, and it takes away from the amazing stuff that he did do. Yes, he did grow up extremely poor, and he did not receive an education like his peers did. But he wasn't illiterate. He was intelligent. And because he had not been taught the same way everyone else, maybe that's why he was able to think outside the box so well. Now, at Heidelberg University in Germany, Mendeleev did research on several topics: surface tension, capillarity, and evaporation. Now, he retained an interest in intermolecular forces throughout his career, but in 1860, everything changed when he attended the Karlsruhe Conference, where the Italian chemist Stanislao Cannizzaro delivered a groundbreaking paper on atomic weights, which I know some of you who may be in school now are saying, don't you mean relative atomic masses? Yeah, well, they used to be called atomic weights. Now, this was a crucial step towards Mendeleev building the periodic system. See, as previously there had been a considerable dispute over assigning the atomic weights to the elements. It seems silly now. Now, believe it or not, the most common assertion was that the weights of elements were irrelevant. Some even denied the physical existence of atoms altogether at this time. Yes, they were still denying it at that time. But others did prefer a system based on an atomic weight of 8 for oxygen, assuming the water's formula was HO rather than H2O. Yes, the thing we all know, we used to not know. Now, at the Karlsruhe conference, Cannizzaro revived the idea of his fellow countryman, Amedeo Avogadro. Now, he supported the H2O water formula with an atomic weight of 16 for oxygen. Now, during the 1860s, opinions had started to shift in his favor. Fortunately for Mendeleev, as the regularities which pointed him towards a periodic table would have been less visible on an older system. So going to that conference where Cannizzaro, I gotta stop saying it that way, Cannizzaro, put oxygen at 16 instead of 8, even though 8 was the more common measurement. That is what probably prompted him towards seeing the pattern that just made it click. On the older system, may not have worked. Now, in 1861, Dmitri returned to St. Petersburg and he resumed teaching at the university, but he still kept lecturing at the city's Technological Institute. In addition, he published an organic chemistry textbook and several articles for a technical encyclopedia, as well as traveling widely in search of opportunities to apply scientific discoveries to Russia's economic development. Now, on a visit to the Baku oil fields in 1863, began his long-term commitment to the emerging petrochemical industry, for example. Yes, he was trying to use chemistry to improve the world, as opposed to just making money. Not too bad. Now, Mendeleev's doctoral thesis was on solution theory, and in 1865 it was accepted. In 1867, the university appointed him professor of general chemistry, which means he was now required to lecture on inorganic chemistry, which he had not dealt with previously. But since there was no Russian textbook that was satisfactory for inorganic chemistry, what's he going to do? Well, he decided to fucking write one himself. That's right. I'm now the new general chemistry professor. I got a lecture on inorganic chemistry. Where's the textbook? Oh, you don't have one? All right. Give me a minute. I'll do it. Now, this focused his mind on the challenge of arranging the chemical elements in an orderly pattern. Now, Leopold Mendelin in Germany, Jean-Baptiste Dumas, who I've spoken about from France, which I am a Francophile, John Newlands in England, who I admittedly don't know enough about. They all famously attempted this and failed. Or I'm sorry, they all did this with limited success, which means they failed. Now, Mendeleev was aware of some of these efforts, but he decided to go in a very distinctive approach. So this is how he did it, right? In 1869, while he was preparing for another industrial tour, this time to investigate and improve cheese making techniques, he was having to complete the first volume of his textbook, and he was struggling to establish the framework. So this is how he explained the process. Again, this is translated into English. So I began to look about and write down the elements with their atomic weights and typical properties. Analogous elements like atomic weights on separate cards, and this soon convinced me that the properties of the elements in the periodic table are dependent upon their atomic weights. Mic drop moment. Now, Dr. Mendeleev, Principles of Chemistry, 1905. Now, he laid out his cards in columns and rows as if playing a game of solitaire, right? Which was one of his favorite games to play. Yes, the vertical columns listed the known elements in order of increasing atomic weight, with a new column, right? With a new column being started whenever this enabled him to fit elements with similar characteristics in the same horizontal row. So think of solitaire, only he's going up and down and then to the side, right? Now, as other chemists had noticed, a few groups of elements, like the alkali metals and the halogens, obviously belonged together. But when you look at lanthanides, it always causes a problem wherever you arrange them. Now, Mendeleev, unlike his counterparts, said, fuck it, I'm not just going to quit. Everything's got to fit. If an element's position on the table seemed to not fit, he was willing to adjust its atomic weight to give it more compatible companions. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. You're telling me this asshole's going to change the atomic weights? Now, let's remember, people could not decide whether oxygen was 8 or 16. So, oxygen fits here perfectly because it's 16. If it was 8, it doesn't. So maybe the atomic weights are wrong. If you try and you try and you try and it's not working, well, maybe your atomic weight is wrong. Now, this is, the simple, less boring part of the conversation, but everyone knows the formula for beryllium oxide, right? It's beryllium oxygen. But we always accepted beryllium 2, oxygen 3. This lowered beryllium's atomic weight, enabling him to locate it with magnesium rather than aluminum. See, we have the atomic weight of some wrong. We had the formation of water wrong. And the periodic table allowed us to better understand chemistry. I can't think of another area that has changed science and improved it so rapidly. Now, he did his first sketch on March 6th of 1869. Which is why I wanted to do the stream yesterday on March 6th. But I'm doing it a day late. Now, the first rough sketch of this table was presented to the Russian Chemical Society, which he had helped found previously. Now, later that year, the Society's journal published a more considered version, a short abstract of which appeared in German translation, and it attracted no attention outside of Russia. But that's okay. Mendeleev said, fuck it, kept on going, and kept laying out more cards on his table. Now, the revised diagram that he published in 1871 looks a little more like what we're used to. But to finish it, he had to make assumptions. For example, he actually lowered the weight of tellurium, making its neighbor iodine the heavier of the two, right? Which allowed him to place iodine with the halogens and tellurium with selenium, which everyone who's seen the movie Evolution, you know that selenium is what you use to kill space aliens when they invade Arizona. It also works with Head and Shoulders. Now, such adjustments were arguably within the range of experimental error at that time, but he could not have foreseen that atomic number rather than atomic weight would become the table's ordering principle, or that identification of isotopes by mass spectrometry would eventually explain these errors. Now, with equal audacity, Mendeleev enhanced the coherence of his table by leaving gaps for as yet undiscovered elements to complete the pattern he envisioned. Now, besides predicting their chemical character, he assigned them values for properties such as gravity and even melting point just by their placement on the table. Now, gallium was identified spectroscopically by a French chemist, Paul Lecoq. We all remember, well, all of us that studied chemistry remember Paul Lecoq. I wish it was because he was so talented, but we were in high school and Lecoq. Now, that wasn't discovered until 1875 when they actually had enough of it gathered for testing. All gallium's properties matched Mendeleev's predictions, except its specific gravity, which appeared to be lower. So that's kind of freaky. 1879, scandium. 1885, germanium. Both exhibiting the properties that Mendeleev had predicted for them. See, there are these fucking holes, right? So he's basically playing a game of solitaire, right? He's laying out these columns. Oh, blank space. Blank space. Blank space. What's all those blank spaces? Oh, well, the element there, nothing fits there. So your table's wrong. No, maybe. We just haven't discovered that element yet. Boom. So after scandium and germanium, people start to go, well, damn it. He's a little too accurate to be ignored. Now, Lothar Meyer in Germany, he highlighted variations in the physical properties of the elements, right? Now, Mendeleev, while discussing his chief rival, is quoted as this: although I have had my doubts about some obscure points, yet I have never once doubted the universality of this law, because it could not possibly be the result of chance. And when it comes down to it, he was correct about the overarching principle of the periodic table. Now, Mendeleev was not infallible. He was not a prophet. He predicted several elements that were never found, and he argued until the end of his life that ether, an essential but undetectable component, and then accepted theories of light and electromagnetism, was really a chemical element. Even though he had failed to isolate it in the laboratory, he suggested it might be the lightest of the noble gases. which we have now proven wrong. But, man, all of that, just because he was like, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep plugging in. Keep plugging. You got to have mad respect for this guy. Now, his private life. I'm going to go over this briefly. I will say this. You can destroy your love and respect for anyone's achievements by looking at their personal life. So honestly, I'm not that familiar with a lot of his personal life. It never interested me. But here we go. He was unconventional. He would only cut his hair once a year, and he only trimmed his beard once a year. And he declined to vary this custom even when meeting the Tsar. Now, his domestic arrangements were also different. In 1862, he married Fyodosva Lesheva. I believe I'm saying that wrong. My apologies. Now, he was pushed that way by an elder sister who thought he should settle down. They had a couple children, but they just did not love each other, did not get along. Many years later, he fell in love with Anna Popov, a 17-year-old art student. And her parents sent her away to continue her studies in Rome. The 47-year-old followed her to Rome and proposed marriage. She accepted. Now, even after getting divorced from first wife Fyodosva, the Russian Orthodox Church recognized civil divorces, but demanded 7-year space between then and your next marriage. Still, Dmitri would never, ever give up on anything. The following year, he found a priest willing, for a fee, to perform the ceremony prematurely. And despite their ambiguous and technically bigamous situation, they actually lived happily together and raised 4 children. Now, I am not going to talk about his politics. No. His actions, sure. He received many medals for his hard work that he put into on using chemistry to advance the country, specifically economics. Being a poor person, he wanted to create opportunities for others. And I do have a strong amount of love for his achievements. I admire the man for his achievements, and I have nothing but respect for his tenacity. Today, we're in a cancel culture world where great men or women who have achieved great things, who have been honored for those achievements, are being cast aside for outside factors. Dr. Martin Luther King was a terrible husband. That does not change what he did for civil rights. Let's, look at the good. So, you may have noticed from several of the topics that I've covered, I have a little fondness for science. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of fondness for the scientific community, but science and chemistry is one that I always got a little bit of love for. Now, before I move on to another topic, another subject, one that's not nearly as exciting as a 200-year-old chemical equation, Panda wants me to share a channel. He really enjoys this one quite a bit. And you know what? Good for him. I will admit, I get a good amount of pleasure out of this one as well. This is Panda. Boom. Yeah, that'll work. Panda is just a cute channel full of awesome stuff. I have special love for pandas and nannies, right? Mm-hmm. And boom, this is a cute one. Sometimes Panda gets a little lonely. Alright, yeah. But as you can see, pandas are basically chubby little drunk troublemakers. Unbelievably cute. I have video of being at the Cincinnati Zoo and having seeing red pandas, who are also very, very cute. But I gotta say, pandas are adorable. I absolutely love pandas. Obviously, I've been influenced a little bit. Now, I do have to say, don't be stupid. In the event that you come across a panda, do not fuck with it. They are bears. They will fuck you up. Do not fuck with pandas. Do not try to play with them in the zoo. In the rare instance you come across them in the wild, back up, move the fuck on. Now, I am going to quickly, it's bugging me seeing the bed like that, but I also wanted to share something awesome, which I'm going to probably do this to you guys a lot, almost every stream. And I'm going to throw the link in here. Go to this channel. Subscribe. Like. All of that. Now, that being said, rock out to an awesome video made by a very talented, very cool friend of mine. Maybe.
close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
Man. So that is Geeky Pixie. Hit her up on Twitter, YouTube. Love the stuff. Now that we have cleansed the palate a little bit from chemistry, let's move on to a super, super exciting, fun topic that everyone loves, that just makes everyone happy. This is an official website of the United States government. So you know it's awesome. The EPA. 40th anniversary. Yes, that's why I'm doing it. 40 years of protecting human health and the environment. So what is Superfund? Well, Superfund would be the shittiest of the shittiest places that are just the most absolutely fucking destroyed. I mean, you take the ones that are the most polluted of the most polluted, who need the most help. It's so bad that the government created a super fund. Even made a law called the Superfund law. This shit's got to get fixed because you guys dumb fucked up too much. Super cheerful topic, right? Now, I am very much aware that they stopped calling it global warming because that was slightly inaccurate, and they call it climate change now. Because slow down, back up, quit calling it global warming. It causes up and down. Now, I believe in climate change because I just know that it's all evidence points to it. The problem is when people make the argument that if you go to a national park, or if you went to a national park before 2018, they all had signs saying that glaciers will not exist in America by 2020 because global warming. You were wrong. They have said 12 years until the end of the world. Stop it. Stop it. Climate change is a very serious thing. It's real and it's serious. We really need to behave better. But when you say, you know, in 12 years, everything's going to melt down and hell on earth. And 10 years later, there's no noticeable change. It looks like you're lying and it's made up. Stop playing both sides. Yes, it's real. No, it's not going to destroy the world in 12 years. Now, can we focus on what really matters? There's no reason not to clean up the environment. Now, let's get off my soapbox. Superfund. The Superfund happened because of the events in a development called Love Canal. Now, this is in New York in the 70s, which is why it was called the Love Canal. A site that had previously contained toxic chemicals. The previously part was a little bit of an exaggeration because also it still had toxic chemicals, but they'd been contained and the land was sold for redevelopment. So you got a place that has a little bit of toxic waste, but you've contained it, you sealed it in a box and everything, even double bagged it. So what do we turn this land into? What do you think? Parking lot? Gun range? No. Oh, a school. Yeah. That's a brilliant idea. Oh, sorry, did I say bullshit? Yeah. The group that owned the school had more land left over that they bought because they bought a lot of land because it had toxic waste on it. So they got a little extra land. That's all right. We'll parcel this land up and sell it for homes. Yep. So, toxic waste dumps. School, houses. Hell yeah. Now, then something insane happened. People started getting sick. A lot. Now, this causes a serious issue, right? How do we pay for the cleanup without admitting it's our fault? Now, in the kind of forward thinking and insanity that governments are all famous for, the Comprehensive Environmental Response, Compensation and Liability Act of 1980, CERCLA, or Circle Jerk, was passed. Now, I know, when you think of the government getting involved to fix something, everything goes smoothly and it's never overpriced. So you allocate an amount of money set aside for chemical cleanup in situations where the company who had originally polluted was now gone and someone else had the land. Now, an amount of money to be set aside. That's like saying a piece of land that turns out to be Alaska, right? Or some dating to be determined. Turns out to be Lindsay Lohan. $30 billion. Yep. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we call it the Superfund. Because a fund in 1980 wouldn't be $30 billion. Now, Superfund, it has different meanings for different people. The EPA, and I showed you their website, it is a fantastic tool for getting the job done. See, you pour a shit ton of money into getting this area clean. Then you use more money to track down and try to extract cleanup costs from the offenders, even though most likely they're corporations that have dissolved or been bought by someone else and any other loophole they can find. Now, to the chemical and manufacturing sector, Superfund is a gigantic, out-of-control government mess, putting unrealistic retroactive standards upon sites that were legal decades and decades ago when they left them. It's like waking up and finding out all those times you ate paste in kindergarten, you were committing a felony and had to go to jail. This might surprise you and your family. 30 years later. So, you can kind of see both sides on that. Superfund started to get a little unhealthy in 1986 when I got a nice little shot in the arm with the passage of Superfund Amendments Reauthorization Act. Sarah. Much better name than Circle Jerk, I should say. One of my kids is named Sarah. Got her name tattooed on me. Which really gave it some cash to start working with. Now, as you saw from the site that I shared, Superfund continues to this day with the usual arguments and battles over who's doing what wrong, how ineffective, how inefficient, how efficient the process is, who gets to claim the credit when the occasional site gets somewhat cleaned up. Out of tens of thousands of sites that are earmarked, you take a couple thousand as priorities, and then a few dozen have actually been cleaned. Now, I hate to keep harping on the same subject, but the government does everything badly. They overcharge, they overcomplicate, and they underperform every damn time. Now, it didn't take long for the term Superfund to turn into this entire location is completely toxic beyond all reasonable measure, and to find out a plot of land was a Superfund site meant doom for real estate values and the potential for dozens of lawsuits. If any of your kids had so much of a sniffle while on something that had been deemed a Superfund, it will cause a shitstorm of epic proportions. Now, people know what's good for them, right? Housing market crashing, not good. Factory closing down, not good. Everybody within the distance of a site that had been considered a Superfund site being able to sue your ass, not good. But luckily for white folks, the vast majority of Superfund sites are located in poor urban areas. Fun fact though, the most priority Superfund sites are located in New Jersey, the Garden State, which is a surprise to, well, no one. Unless you're actually living on one of those sites, because you probably didn't expect that one. So like I said, the damn government makes everything badly. How do I know? I've worked for the government. Not just the military. Because believe it or not, the military is the most efficient and effective government agency I've worked for. And I've worked for 4 now. That's right. Census Bureau, oh man, they have a job, but you don't do your job. You do what you're told and what you're told. Nope, different video, different time. Worked for Medicare as well. And anyways, growing up, litter was a real thing. People littered. You would see trash out there, and you don't see it. You don't see it much anymore. Is it because of people paying fines? I don't know anyone that's ever paid a fine. Maybe 1 or 2. I don't know of people being fined. I know the fines are threatened, but I've never known anyone personally that paid a fine. I do know every damn kid grew up. Every kid my age grew up with these fucking commercials. The Native American guy crying a tear, even though he wasn't actually Native American, he was Italian. But all that. Don't Mess with Texas was actually a commercial to tell people don't litter. Yeah. I don't see litter like I used to. I'm a fan of environmentally friendly stuff. My advice to anyone who's concerned about the environment: try to buy things from made in the United States. They're heavily regulated. I would avoid buying things from countries that aren't regulated. Plant trees. Big fan of planting plants. Planting plant. Yeah. Common sense environmental laws. Reach out, speak to your local government. Quit going after the president for shit. Focus on local government. They have the most effect on you. Legalize hemp. Not talking about marijuana. I'm saying hemp. Hemp can make paper and can replace a lot of these trees that take forever to grow. Hemp, super quick. And there are many, many places you can find that give you a million things about environmentalism. Unfortunately, it has become a political issue, which makes, just like the Kung flu, the Wu flu, Wuhan virus, coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it, just like that becoming a political issue, it makes facts get distorted by both sides. Environmentalism is the same way. I would advise you to get vehicles that have good gas mileage. I'm not knowledgeable enough on electrical cars. See Go-Go over there? I love my birds. I have bird feeders outside and I watch wild birds every day. I love birds. Wind turbines. Yes, clean energy, but kills birds. So what's the answer? I think the answer is you and me, Panda, your friends, their friends. I'd say my friends, but I don't have any. All of us sit down, say fuck politics, and have a conversation and discuss what's best and find what works because we all want the same thing. We just disagree on how to get there. I would love if everyone could be more environmental friendly. And I would love for people to stop using that as a way to attack people's livelihoods. We're better than this. Don't let politics prevent us from actually fixing things. Also, I do apologize. It appears as though episode 4 is going to be the preachy episode. I will simply blame it on me being depressed. But it's all good. Next topic is supposed to be slightly humorous. I am very much aware that it is on the topic of religion. And religion absolutely makes everything unfunny. Now, this is about the Moorish Science Temple of America. There are some terms used. First of all, Moorish is a little bit racist in some circles. Not my word. It also speaks of Islam and Christianity and racial pride. Well, I'll get to that one as we get there. There will be things said that are a little bit on the offensive side. There are things that will make you go, that's bad. I don't like that. And you know what? I agree. But it does not change that it's the way it is. So let us talk about the Moorish Science Temple of America. Noble Drew Ali, Prophet of Islam, founded the Moorish American Science Temple in Chicago. In the 1920s, this temple was a center for African American ethnic pride and political activism. Although no one used the term African American then, and most people don't use the term African American now. It was Black Americans. And Ali, Noble Drew Ali, He claimed that most Americans that were black were of Moorish descent. That was a little bit surprising to people. But black Americans were eager to hear his eclectic mix of Islam and Christianity, right? The writings of Marcus Garvey and Ali's own brand of zealous racial pride often misinterpreted his message and reacted with street brawls, threats against individuals, the burning down of businesses. I know it's insane to think that that could happen. Now, I know everyone already knows this, but I wasn't familiar, so I actually had to double check. Marcus Garvey, who I mentioned, he's the one, as you already know, but I didn't. He is the founder of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. Yep. UNAICL. Everyone called it something different. Everyone said it differently, and then people would abbreviate it. The Universal Negro Improvement Association, right? UNIA. The African Communities League was always dropped. Now, let's be honest and let's be fair. Virtually every religion has some sort of memorable origin story. Something that explains why this religion is so much superior to all these other options. And it's available today to today's discriminating consumer. Choose us because we're blah. Because that's absolutely the best way for someone to find spiritual enlightenment and peace of mind and inner peace. Right? Just have someone tell you. I know. It's preachy episode. We also have to admit, some stories are more memorable than others. Now, you have the children of Abraham, right? You have Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. They all come from the same origin story. And at Abraham's children, right? Abraham goes up to the top of the mountain, throws one of his kids up and goes, God said kill you. And God goes, psych, I was joking. People argued over which kid it was. Boom. Judeo-Christianity, Islam. Then, Jesus and stuff, Judaism, Christianity, boom. And then from there, blah, 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 blah. Everything splits up. Now there's 1,000,007 religions, all from the same thing. That's very common. Buddhism, from Buddha. Taoism. Actually, I'm going to do a video on Taoism, so I'll skip that one. Sikhism, fantastic story. I did a video on Santeria. I am very, very proud of that video. Please watch it. Comment. Please comment. South Park did something on Mormonism and even Scientology. But the Moorish Science Temple of America it might surpass them. Maybe. Moorish science was established in 1913 by a man who was born with the name Timothy Drew. Now, Moorish science may have the distinction of being the only religion ever to be founded in Newark, New Jersey. Similar to Christian science, Moorish science has nothing to do with science, although it does have quite a bit to do with Moorishness. So the basic tenet of Moorish science is that all black people are descended from the Moors. The Moors? Who are the Moors? Really? Have you not seen Othello? They made a movie version with Julia Stiles called O. They stereotyped everything and made Othello a basketball player because, he's black. I know. No, sorry. When you make jokes about anything that involves race, that's when people get offended. But as I said, this whole thing delves into race and religion. If you're not offended, then you either don't care or you're not listening. Personally, I think most of this is offensive, but on this topic, the Moorish science one. Anyways, the Moors. They're a nomadic North African tribe whose most famous member was Othello. Are you not listening, people? I know. Sometimes I think my computer screen can talk back to me. Then I remember it's just Panda. And he's ignoring me right now. The Moors were Islamic, and when they first invaded Spain in 711, yes, that's the actual year they said, has nothing to do with the invasion of 7-Eleven stores. I'm serious. I'm not fucking with that conspiracy theory right now. So, Moorish science teaches that all blacks are originally Islamic. Now, think about it. That means before Muhammad, there were no black people, right? Nope, not what he's saying. No. Islamic is being used very loosely here. As most other Muslims would tell you, the actual creeds of Moorish science draw as much from Buddhism and Christianity and Freemasonry as they do from Islam. Now, I know what you're thinking. No. Who gets to define what Islam is? Well, the Nation of Islam thinks it has something to do with UFOs and space aliens. Don't believe me? Look it up. I have read the Quran, and it is not what I've seen. Now, if you are thinking, one moment. Boom. I believe Splatter may be joining me, which is fantastic. Very, very blessed. Now, if you're thinking that this premise is somewhat questionable, first of all, you got to consider the historical record. Islam was founded in the 7th century AD, right? That's the 600s. Black people have been around since before the dawn of recorded history, which goes back as far as 30,000 BC. So that's 32 plus 7, that's 39 centuries before, right? But hey, when has logic or common sense ever been a part of religion? Right? Sorry. Now, Timothy Drew was born in 1886 in North Carolina. Now, according to some accounts, he was born to 2 former slaves, and then adopted by a local tribe of Cherokee. But another telling of the story says his father was a dark-skinned Cherokee himself. Ooh, but then there's a version that says his father was Moroccan and his mother was Cherokee. But Drew himself said the moment of his birth was marked by an eclipse, without mentioning the race of the parents. Others claimed an earthquake heralded his arrival on the scene. Okay. Regardless of his parentage or any miracles that happened, he joined the circus at 16 as a stage magician. That's right. Then he hooked up with a band of gypsies, and the gypsies took him on a world tour. That's right. The most fateful jaunt in Drew's alleged travels was to Egypt in the early 1900s. Now, while there, he met the high priest of an ancient Egyptian magic cult. That's right. The priest saw Drew as a reincarnation of the cult's original leader from centuries ago. And this is guaranteed fact because it comes directly from Drew. And you have to trust him because he's a reincarnated leader from the cult. So, yeah. So, this ancient Egyptian magical cult leader initiated Drew into the powerful magical rituals of yore. And it's proven true because you have to believe the noble Drew Ali. Now, the priest imparted to Drew the director's cut version of the Quran, which became known as the Circle 7 Quran. The young circus performer rechristened himself as the noble Drew Ali, the prophet, and returned to the U.S. to spread the good word. Hello, Splatter. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Just finished recording my spoiler, I guess, Men in Black review video, recording it. So now I'm going and editing it. Other than that, I haven't been doing a whole lot today. How was your day?
Excellent. Today was a pretty busy, but not as bad as Friday. Not as good as Friday, I should say. New DJ that I've mentioned to you. I broke records for attendance, for sales, and for money in the register. When I gave the money over for the deposit to the person who's got to bring it to the bank, they were like, wow, should we get a police escort?
Nice.
Huge success. Very fantastic. Very, very pleased with how well things have been going. This is your first time joining a Ramble episode.
Yeah. Well, it was late enough. It's 12 Oh, a little bit past 12:30 here, so it's late and everything. And days, I'm guessing, usually do these pretty late,
Um,
right?
this one was actually planned for yesterday to mark the anniversary of the first uh, draft of Mendeleev's periodic table of the elements. But yeah, I do these. I try to do these once a week.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
the the plan is I want to do a stream with you, and then the brickbat stream once a week, and then toss this one out, which is the free flowing, no topic.
that sounds good. Do you have people usually join you for your stream, the brickbat stream?
Well, normally I have often I try to get this young gentleman. He's got a channel called Splattervision that I'm trying to direct people to. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
I believe I have found a possible person to join in on brickbats, but he's mostly concerned with movies. And warning, he's going to be watching the Hollywood Morgue a lot, and he's going to be watching your stuff. He's very intrigued, and he has experience with radio, so good chance that we can expand our circle of associates.
And who is this?
Well, this is a very talented singer from karaoke. We've had a few meetings now, several conversations. Not going to say the name, but it is someone who I've met in the real world. Really, really good singer. Fun stories to tell about that on our next stream.
We should do a karaoke live.
I would love that.
It would be great if YouTube wouldn't copyright us for all the music.
Well, the good thing is YouTube's already cracked down on me so much that I don't get paid from YouTube anymore.
No.
Oh, but unfortunately, let me jump back and rewind a bit. I was just talking about the Moorish temple.
Yes.
And you popped in at the perfect time. So, Drew, the noble Drew Ali, he was given a director's cut. See, I threw that one in for you. Version of the Quran, which became known as the Circle 7 Quran. So the young circus performer rechristened himself as Noble Drew Ali, the Prophet, and returned to the U.S. to spread the good word. And that's when you popped in.
Yeah.
Now, the Circle 7 Quran was, first of all, it's divinely inspired and absolutely proven to be correct by the Prophet. But some would say it is based on apocryphal Christian text that said Jesus Christ, considered an important prophet by conventional Islam, traveled to India, where he lived most of his first 30 years, with side trips to Africa and Europe. So apocryphal means, for Protestants, they usually say apocryphal when referencing the books of the Bible that they removed, that Catholics still use. But to be fair, apocryphal means any religious texts pertaining to Christianity that are not included in the Bible. So what's apocryphal to a Catholic is apocryphal to a Protestant. But 7 books that the Protestants say are apocryphal are not apocryphal to Catholics. So in this instance, when I say apocryphal, I mean stuff the Catholics don't have in the Bible, Protestants don't have in the Bible. It's in no Bibles. And that is we go from Jesus at 12 to Jesus at 30. Big gap. What happens? Well, according to the noble Drew Ali, Jesus went to India and Africa and converted to Islam.
That seems far-fetched.
Well, you would think that. But you didn't travel to Egypt, and you did not find an Egyptian magic cult who the head priest said you are the reincarnation of the founder of this magical cult that's never been named. So when that happens to you, then you can say it's far-fetched.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think I'll be joining any cults to find out.
Right.
Again.
Right, because that last one, while it was fun, you still got to get shots for another 8 weeks. Now, if you actually get bored enough to dive into Noble Drew's writings, because yes, some people have no friends or no lives, and they actually do it. But if you can actually ignore the florid language that he uses, the flowery language, you would find that the church is actually generated around racial theories and then wrapped around Freemason occultism. So the centerpiece is an elaborate and scientifically accurate, in no way at all, set of theories regarding to racial origins. The religion was the first recognizable iteration of the Black Power movement in America, which let's not let that sour the Black Power movement.
No, I think from a history standpoint, the Black Power movement did have a meaning, or it did have a very strong presence in the youth culture and everything, because of slavery and everything in the 50s. In the 50s, although people were technically free, up until that point, they were still treated as separatist society. And so when this youth culture came in and started this, what do you call it, resistance movement against against white, suppressors of society, with Southern Democrats, and I repeat that, Democrats who formed KKK groups and stuff like that. So yeah, don't let the history books lie to you about that, people. But anyway, the Black Power movement definitely is a culturally good thing. But when you have people who sprinkle some bullshit in there, people like Malcolm X and people like...
To defend Malcolm X, he went to Africa. He met real Muslims. He converted to real Islam. And he came back and said, hey, guys, wait a minute. All the shit I've said was coming from the right place, but we can be better than this. Hatred and violence. No, we can do better. That's why Louis Farrakhan murdered Malcolm X. He became a good man and a good Muslim, and that got in the way of Nation of Islam. But before we get way too off topic, because Rambling Doc J does ramble, Black Power, I love. Uh, girl power, I love. Gay
Now, white
pride,
power.
I love. The problem is when it is girl power, men suck. Wait a minute. No, stop that. Or a white power down a blackie. No, no, no,
Well,
no.
the bad thing is you can go down a street and even as a white person and say, black power, right? Maybe it would be weird, but you can put up a fist and say, black
Right.
power, power to the people. But you cannot, as a white man or a white woman or a white person and go down the street and say white power with a fist straight up in the air and say white power. Because if you do that, you will get arrested. But
Which is exactly why I said let's not let the Moorish Science Church poison the Black Power movement. Because anyone saying it's good to be me. I like my history, yay, positive me. This race is great. Filipinos are awesome. Cebuanos are fantastic. Biseo all the way. Or, man, South Korea is fucking sweet. Dude, I love Witcher because it celebrates how awesome Slavic people are. All of these are good and valid. Irish is awesome. St. Patrick's Day, fuck me, I'm Irish, right? Yes, yes, yes. I am none of those things. But I will high five you and go, hell yeah, you're awesome. And you make your classification, organization, whatever, look awesome. Yay! Everyone cheer. We have taken white pride and made it into anti other things. And people like this, I'm pointing to the Moorish temple.
they're pointing at me like, what? What did I do?
Yeah, I know. Moorish temple and other organizations that want to celebrate their race by attacking others. That is why white pride and white power is a negative thing now. Because for so long, white people said white power as an anti other people. You doing the same thing with other races, it's just going to create the same situation. And that's why I think the Moorish Temple is a good topic. And yes, as I said, it is the first recognizable iteration of Black Power in America. But the structures of the religion was accepting of all races. Now, I'm going to use historically accurate words that I don't personally use or like. If it offends you, grow the fuck up. There's a trigger warning at the bottom. You should have already logged off. Drew rejected the appellation of Negro. And if you think I'm racist for saying that, Dr. King said it. It's a whatever. He said that American blacks were properly referred to as Moors or Moorish Americans. One of his disciples was Elijah Muhammad.
Who's Elijah Muhammad?
Thank you. Elijah Muhammad is the founder of the Nation of Islam. He is the one who taught that white people were created in a laboratory by a black scientist in Africa so that he could make slaves. But he got the formula wrong, and all white people are devils and Satan. And he got the technology from an alien abduction. Now, Elijah Muhammad himself was abducted by aliens multiple times. When he passed, he was replaced by Louis Farrakhan, who teaches that if you killed 7 white people, you could go to heaven. Now, Dr. Seuss books have been removed from eBay, but you can still buy Louis Farrakhan's books, and you can still buy My Struggle, also known as Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler. Good one, eBay.
Yeah, okay. So I'm glad you brought that up because what was the whole deal with the Dr. Seuss stuff? Because I was seeing it on the news and everything, and I'm not sure what was going on, but I've been seeing like, oh,
All
Dr.
right.
Seuss has become racially insensitive or some shit like that.
There are 6 books by Dr. Seuss. Most of them are unknown, uncared about. And they use artwork that is stereotyping certain races, much like the buck-toothed, slant-eyed Japanese person from the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it's insensitive. It's not racist in the way it's used. And I believe it creates a conversation of context. I know whenever I was reading certain texts or hearing speeches in school, the teacher, and again, I grew up in military school and European school, the teacher would be like, all right, Dr. King is saying colored people and Negroes. Those were the names, those were not mean words. What happened is people used those words in a mean way for a long time, and now those words are bad, which never fit, never clicked with me. It was, oh, so a bunch of fucking retards and assholes used a word to be retards and assholes, and now the word's bad? No, there's nothing wrong with the word. So it's perfectly fine if I read Dr. King's speech. By the way, people get pissy sometimes when I say Dr. King instead of Reverend King or MLK or whatever. He worked his ass off to become a doctor. And I think doctor sounds respectable. I personally choose to call him Dr. King. Some people call him Reverend King. Whatever you feel is the most respectful way to talk to him. If I were to meet him, I would say Dr. King, shake his hand, give him some love.
I agree. I think the saying Dr. King, it takes away the religious aspects. And some people might not agree with him religiously because of denominations and stuff like that. Like a Catholic may not agree with him because he's Baptist or whatever he was. I'm not
Right.
exactly sure. So I think Dr. King is a universal way of addressing. That's like Sir, like you say, Sir, like Sir Ian McKellen or like Sir Elton John. You don't just call him That's how he's addressed now. You
Well,
know,
I
or
have not. I did not get the opportunity to meet him and say, Dr. King, let me shake your hand, sir. And then go, oh, call me Marty. Right?
right, yeah.
And I will be honest, I have not delved into it on what he preferred to be called. But yeah, Dr. King is what I like. Some people like other things. Some people like this, some people like that. I would say Dr. King if I met him. You might say, let's say you think Reverend King shows his connection to the higher power and shows that he is above earthly whatever, right? Cool. If that's what you would call him, awesome. You're not wrong. I'm not wrong. If you say Mr. King, you're not wrong. Like, do what you do for the reasons you feel. And we all need to stop being so fucking angry about everything.
Well, it's like if you met your sergeant out of when you get out of the military, out of the service, would you still refer to them as sergeant?
Ah, that is a great, fantastic point. All right, so I can actually give personal details on this. I have a amazing, wonderful leader, commissioned officer. He was my commander, which is not a rank in the army. He was my company commander. And dude kept getting promoted over the years. And we have stayed in touch. And I love him. He is family. I will tell you a million stories about Commander. Won't say his name on this one, but yeah. My mother has never met him, and she still says a prayer for him on the anniversary of every time. On the anniversary of a specific thing. I love him forever, and his kids and his wife and family. He was captain, then he was major, and then, right, ranks kept changing. You get used to saying this and this. And I always said, sir, 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 sir. I still call him Commander to this day. I am older than him, by the way, also. Fun fact. But, no, he, in the event that he leaves active duty status, face to face, I don't know that I would reference his rank. I would say sir. And I did create a new way of referencing him, commander, because as ranks change, he's still my commander. Now, my old sergeant major, yeah, I'll still call him sergeant major, even though it's not the proper title. It's how I know him. It's how we're connected.
Right, yeah.
Some of my sergeants, when I became a sergeant, sorry. Let's all back that. Some NCOs with titles When I became an NCO, I'm able to say, hey, blah, Bob. I'm hardwired where I would still be like, Sergeant this, Corporal that, Major this, Private that. It fits me. It's what feels right to me.
Right. You never want to. I would also say I would never want to. I wouldn't want to out overrank or underrank somebody, especially if it's a high ranking officer. Like you wouldn't address a sergeant as a private. Like
Right.
I wouldn't suggest calling your captain or whatever. Or what would you say?
Yeah, Captain.
Yeah, captain as a private.
Right.
Especially because he held a higher rank over you.
So your captain gets promoted and moved up from troop commander to battalion XO, squadron XO, and he goes from captain to major, and you see him, and you just immediately want to go, sir, and you want to ask about him, and you're like, hey, where's Captain Panda? And they're like, who? I'm sorry, Major Panda. Wow, you can disrespect him like that? You demoted him? Fuck you. We have shared a sleeping bag together in the snow.
Hashtag no homo.
Well,
A
on
little
my
homo.
end, on my end, after all the amazing things he's done for my family, I mean, seriously. All right, I know this is a sidetrack. So, somebody really should jump on YouTube and change my name from Doc J to Rambling Doc J, because I do ramble. Let's rewind 107 years ago, and I had a lowly captain on the phone. I had it, so blah, 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 military, drama, deployment, stuff. Captain, doing what's right for his soldier. Talking to a lieutenant colonel. Trying to get things right. And he's like, well, with all due respect, sir, fuck you. You have no integrity. You have no balls, and you're a coward. Sir, no, sir, don't. Fuck you. I am going to the fucking general. Suck my dick and lick my ass. Click. Like, holy shit, sir. Sir, you just fucking ruined your career. If my career is more important than my men, then I don't deserve to lead. Sir, no, no. He won. He won, and he did get promoted. And he is amazing, and I love him dearly. And sir, I know you watch these sometimes. You should be president of the planet. But yeah, that's why I call him commander. Because, Jesus Christ. I can't call him by his name. This bastard deserves a title and respect until the end of days. Again, the big reason why we say rambling, because I do get off topic, and the rambling episodes have not had a co-host or a co-star or a guest stream. I don't know, what title would you go with?
Person who was formerly known as co-host. I don't know. It's a good one. I would say co-starring. Or
That works, because we like movies. You and me, we got a movie relationship.
Yeah.
Well,
and the bad thing is my
Will
channel
S-
is centered around stuff like that, but he has 1,500 years over me, so I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. But no, he has several decades over me. I barely even have two. I almost have two.
the fact that you are old enough to vote, not old enough to smoke a cigarette,
Well, not anymore,
and
but
yeah, because stupid laws.
well, I am in Europe,
And
so
I am 65 years older than you, but
yes.
we are still same-sex heterosexual lovers. Try to work that one out. Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm confused.
Yeah, that was what the wording was supposed to do. So I know
It's for tax purposes.
the Nation of Islam got us on a side topic, but don't be racist.
Yeah.
If you think celebrating you means attacking someone else, stop celebrating you and go to a corner and think really, really hard. Also, what's it? No, I'm not going to use names. Also, if you think super straight movement is anti-trans, you're an idiot. People saying, I am only sexually attracted to people that were born the opposite gender of me, is not saying anything negative about anybody. It's just saying, I like this. If you think saying, I like female bodies, I like women, I'm a dude who's straight, and I love women of all shapes and sizes, I like boobs and vaginas, and you go, you are attacking me because you said boobs and vaginas while talking about women.
Uh-oh,
You
retard alert.
You are the asshole. You are the moron. You are the retard. You are the negative person. Now, when someone says, yeah, I hate those trannies and any chick with a dick, I hate them, and how dare someone else ever touch them? You and me, you super SJW attacking J.K. Rowling for being pro-female, You and me, we will stand there, hand to hand, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, go, dude, fuck you. You want to bang a tranny? Don't bang a tranny. But how dare you attack other people? Dude, put your dick in your cousin where you like it and leave the rest of us alone. So, can the super crazy SJWs afford me the same leadway if I were to say, look, I am only attracted to chubby Asians with red hair? Can you please stop calling me a racist? Because I'm not attracted to chubby white dudes with beards and shaved heads. And if you're going to attack me for that, can you please attack everyone else for that? And just, spread the word. Everyone should totally want to perform sexual acts on chubby bald guys with beards and shaved heads. Maybe the ones that wear camouflage hats.
And Yoda shirts. And have pandas.
All right, see where I'm coming
And
from?
Yeah.
Like, dude. Positive, yes. Negative, no.
Well, I think it's just anybody who has a preference. You know how there's like a whole community of people, let's just say people who like to do more than just vanilla stuff in the bedroom, People who like to go that extra extreme.
Yeah.
They like to spice it up. They like to dress like Rob Halford and in,
Oh,
in their
man.
bedroom at night. And
For those young people who don't know who Rob Halford is, Rob Halford was the lead singer of Judas Priest. And Rob Halford likes to wear leather. And
oh yeah.
there is a whole group of leather daddies. I have a very funny sexual story about leather boots for a different strain. Splatter, make sure to remind me. Take notes. Sexual leather, grossed out, still makes me uncomfortable. Oh, yeah.
Nice. I'll put it in the. That'll be one of our topics we talk about on the morgue.
Good.
Good.
But yeah, consenting adults, you do you. And you do your consenting partners. And if you record it, and I
Make that
know
money.
if you record it and I know you personally, I will watch it. There's a good chance I won't like it and it'll freak me out. But damn it, you are a liar. If someone you know personally did something crazy or sexual on camera, if you wouldn't watch it, you're either lying or you're a coward. Just saying. If they're family members, you get a free pass.
No. You.
So all the way back to Noble Drew Ali. See, he taught that the Moors were an Asiatic race. Yep. So racist went to super racist, but this is coming from a black American claiming Egyptian divinity and Moroccan Spanish heritage. So he's already covered 3 continents. So he is now saying all black people are an Asiatic race, meaning all Asians are just watered down black people. Now, many whites, now he identifies these whites as Celts or Persians. Now, I know what you're thinking. Persians aren't white. You aren't the noble Drew Ali. Persians and Celts are white people who are actually black. So the Moorish Temple, which is a Moorish organization centered in Chicago, they started to attract a shit ton of Persians. Right? So basically, what Circle 7 Quran did was you just nullified all the Irish in America. And you just included all Persians in America into the fold of blacks in America. But you are smart enough to say they're all Moorish. So, well, Spanish and Moroccan and Persian and black, all that. Yeah, that's eclectic enough. Sure. We're all Moorish. I know. This motherfucker smart. Now, Jesus was of the true blood of the ancient. For any viewers that are Mormon and watching, if this offends you, you're offended because of your bullshit, not mine. Jesus was of the true blood of the ancient Canaanites and Moabites and the inhabitants of Africa, seeking to redeem his people from the pale skins of Europe. That's why Rome crucified him. Now, this might be slightly controversial from the Circle 7, but the main purpose behind the church's teachings wasn't about the evils of Jews and European whites. No. As Moors, all blacks are Muslim. Boom. Also, all Asiatic strains, meaning Indians, Persians, Middle Easterners, Russians, Chinese, all of that, right? Which also includes the Spanish and the Portuguese, and if you can find a way to connect it to France, boom. All of that. So his definition of Islam didn't bear resemblance to, I don't know, Islam. Maybe if you went to Mullah at Al-Azhar Universitaire, you might think that Noble Drew's definition of Islam is wrong. Now, you may have gone to the most prestigious Muslim university in the world. You may be educated in all forms of Islam. But all of that is canceled out because an Egyptian magic cult said he's the prophet. So all your studying the Promised Land and the Quran, a state of illuminated consciousness, all that done because he said it's wrong. He threw down an Uno reverse card and then a draw 4. Uno, bitches. So, all right. All these combination of ideas, it's some Moorish spin on the European trend of a 19th century movement to believe all religions are describing the same thing, just different words. Yeah. That is exactly why the right time and the right place made people go, everything he's saying stupid, but you know what? He's including a bunch of other religions, so he can't really attack anyone. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. And then he expanded. Buddhism, the indigenous religion of every place it was introduced, right? Find a way to take all of that, but use the terminology of Islam and keep saying Moorish, Moorish, Moorish. Do that. Put it on a Masonic blueprint, and boom, you got it. Jurisdiction aforesaid, by virtue of whose authority it exists, while acting in conformity with the laws, rules, and regulations of the home temple, and the said subordinate temple aforesaid, being duly and lawfully organized, constituted, and established, is hereby authorized and empowered to initiate and confer the degrees of said temple in accordance with the established forms and usages upon all such persons as are duly and lawfully qualified to promote and practice the teachings of all the true and divine prophets. Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius. Blah, 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 blah. What do you think? Splatter covers all bases.
What do I think covers all bases? Well, I think Buddhism is it's about peaceful. It's about equality and
Right.
peace.
And
But when you have
every positive quality of Buddhism applies to the Moorish temple because he said so. So if you're Buddhist, all the good stuff about Buddhism is included in that church. So join. Pick a religion.
I'm not sure.
Well, all the positive stuff, I'm not sure, applies to the Temple of Moorism. So why not join? I mean, yes, I know. I read a shit ton. All of that is just the same thing of your goodies. Yeah, I agree. What don't you like about it? I agree. And it happened in this specific time period where people were so tired of fighting over religion, right? There's a reason why my rambles are boring. I know.
No, I just don't know how to comment. I mean, honestly.
My rambles are me going on topics that that I kind of like, that aren't that exciting, that no one really cares about. But I do have a nice voice, and Panda's with me, and he's pretty handsome. So maybe people might like hearing it. But yeah, basically the whole thing is careful wording and good timing. We were at a place in history where everyone was tired of everyone fucking fighting over religion. So someone came up with this idea of, you know what, all religions are the same. They just disagree on who it's coming from. Stop fucking murdering your neighbor. Just fucking go to church. Do your thing. And man, this church jumped in on it, right? And fuck, man. They took the fez and made it a sign of power. The fez was just a hat. And then the noble drew Ali. That's not a religious sign of the church. It's just something I made up. Just feels right. Feels like something from a cult in a movie. Yeah, that motherfucker wore a Cherokee feather. And they eventually started titles. Deacon, Exilarch, Papesa. They created their own flag. They told their followers to refuse community service, right? And they propagated the phrase uppity Negro. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
The idea was, oh, yeah, it's funny. Decades before Rosa Parks, right? They started the term uppity Negro to describe people that were too good to join them. So they did the World War One, 1910 to 1915 version of hashtag and made uppity Negro a thing. It was supposed to shame black people. And you're going, oh, wait, I'm an uppity Negro because I didn't join that church? Well, I don't want people to think I'm better than them. Let me join. A couple of decades later, Rosa Parks came along, and they finally took the uppity Negro hashtag from that time. And it pissed off all the Moors. But all the people that were like, oh, fuck you. You can't talk me into joining a church. that caused a huge fucking downfall, right? So they did uppity Negro and got that spread to attack Negroes, black folks that did not join the Moorish temple. And then it spread. When Rosa Parks did her thing, Rosa Parks, you're awesome. We love you. You should not be on money. The first female, the unmarried pregnant one, that they covered up because she wasn't good enough for the movement. I need to learn her name. Sorry. Yeah. Side topic. That's why it's Rambling Doc J. Yeah, Rosa Parks. Fuck yeah. Man, love that shit. And people started calling her uppity Negro, uppity Negro, uppity Negro. Now, uppity Negro means a Negro who goes, you know what? Fuck you. I'm an American citizen. Fuck off. I'm going to do my shit. Can you believe that pissed off the church? Yep. So,
I can believe that.
people started thinking, wait a minute, uppity Negro means I'm black. That doesn't mean I'm wrong. But the church was teaching, you're black and you didn't do what we said. I don't know. It's like Joe Biden. So, man, that caused some damage. So he took the church back to Chicago. He had a stronger base, street level support, circle the wagons, shrink it down. Fiery speeches. He started telling the Moors to reject the white man and his labels. Negro is bad. Black is bad. Colored is bad. They call you anything. The church did a brisk bigness in a variety of Moorish products, right? At the same time, they were doing copyrights about Moorish, Moorish, the Moors, right? They were preaching colored is bad, Negro is bad, black is bad. They call you anything but Moor or Moorish. They're racist. Totally not connected. It's not snake oil. He did start selling passports to his followers. Passports to the Moorish nation of America. All you sovereign citizens and all you BLM bastards, all you ass hats. History repeats itself. Just saying, I'm old as fuck. You can't trick me twice. He urged Americans of every color to reject hate, embrace love, and proclaim Chicago is the new Mecca and the new Moorish nation of America.
Well, Chicago is shit, so yeah, that went.
Now, mm, Drew died. The noble Drew Ali. Dude, I just gotta say, I want a religious cult to take that free of charge. It's yours. Do it, use it, spread it around the world. All I ask, all I ask is somewhere you include a picture of Panda and a picture of me and say we're divine. That's all I ask. So yeah, a dude died. Church lasted a little bit. People started leaving because what happened is different motherfuckers started going, I'm in charge of his church. I'm in charge of his church. Oh, I'm the racist asshole that's best. No, I'm the racist retard that's best. Yeah. He shit out some kid. I'm sorry. He knocked up some chicks that shit out some kids. But all of it just added up to racist assholes. So in the 50s, the small group of fuckers, they tried to coagulate to one group, and J. Edgar Hoover, tranny, transvestite.
Was he really?
Yes, J. Edgar Hoover left all of his possessions to his assistant and lifelong friend who lived with him and shared a bed with him and loved him. And they were a wonderfully devoted married couple. And after hours, J. Edgar Hoover dressed as a female. Which, cool. Man, I got a long relationship of family, close friends, and acquaintances who are trannies of various levels. Some transitioned and got the surgery. You are amazingly brave. I love you. And yeah, there are some weird difficulties, and people you love and trust might struggle with accepting the changes. They still love you, they still trust you. I'll help you get there. I'm still going to use the wrong words, but I pissed you off long before.
Oh, okay. So this is also another hot take on that community because when people say, "Oh, I'm trans," well, a lot of the time they're trans quotation marks, but they haven't had the surgery. And do you consider a person who is fully trans, like they say, "Oh, I'm trans," because they say they're a woman, but they still have the male part, or are they a woman because they have female parts? So they fully are a woman physically at that point, or do you consider them a transvestite if they're dressed up as a
All
woman?
right. So here's the thing. And I'm pretty sure this will piss off everybody. By the way, just to give a you're not on cam, so I'm gonna minimize you. If that offends you, please write an explanation why you're offended, roll it up tightly, shove it in your butt, and then wait. Eventually, you'll forget because I'll never care. Sorry,
No, it didn't bother me.
that was funny, but it might have been a little harsh. No. Here's my stance on that. I have some soldiers. Chick with vagina want to become a dude with a cock. Now, my soldier, who I always reference by her last name, has an awesome wife, civilian wife, who I referenced as Mrs. last name. So, got out of the military, and soldier became a dude. Gotcha. I am lucky. I got to cheat. I was like, made up last name Pringles. So I was like, Pringles, why the fuck are you late? Pringles, what the fuck? I'm trying to do your fucking dress blue inspection, but Jesus fucking Christ, Pringles. Can you not fucking do you not have 50 cents to your name? Jeez. You can use quarters. So, when Pringles went from twat to cock, I could be like, all right, Pringles, just saying, I really liked your boobs. You cut them off? Uh, is it gay if I masturbate to your mouth and eyes? It's like, dude, last name. It wasn't cool then. It's not cool now. Is it gay? Uh, if you
Yes.
record it and send it to me, it's gay. If you do it and afterwards you rub olive oil on your chest and say wooska, wooska, wooska,
Mickey Mouse.
then it's still gay. All right. Thanks, Pringles. That's so I got to cheat on all that shit. But then when Pringles was dealing with family stuff and personal friend stuff, and it's like they keep calling me my dead name. Your dead name? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have a funeral? What? Did you have a funeral? No. All right, look. Your uh, your male name was. You're a female. Born female. Your born female name was Jelly. And your decided male name is Jolly. So you were Jelly Pringles, now you're Jolly Pringles. So if someone says jelly instead of jolly, do you think they're trying to hurt your feelings, or trying to make a statement, or trying to be an asshole? Or do you think you did something that people might love you, but have a little trouble figuring out because it's kind of weird? Right, but shouldn't they know? Shouldn't. So you're going to assume someone you know and love is transphobic? How about this? You get offended that they called you jolly, or they called you jelly when you want to be jolly. How about you privately reach out and go, hey, I'm aware that you know me as Jelly Pringles, but I'm now Jolly Pringles. Pringles didn't change. You and me, our relationship didn't change. Are you calling me Jelly to make a statement, to make me feel bad? Because it makes me feel bad. And if making me feel bad is part of our relationship, then I don't think we need a relationship. Was that good advice to my tranny Pringles? Yeah. Me saying tranny Pringles gonna piss off a whole bunch of people.
And you know what you say to that?
I'm gonna say tranny Pringles loves me, and I love tranny Pringles, and everyone that gets mad and wants to cancel me, we are going to laugh and share some. All right. Some rum, not whiskey, but it's going to be Captain Morgan's and not Bacardi. Compromise. We are going to drink Captain Morgan's and laugh while people get offended. Shit's weird. Everyone knows it's weird. We have to bond and love and I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think, you know, it's just like parents who have kids who come out or whatever. It's, I mean, okay, well, it's different if they like know it or whatever, but like those people who don't know it, who are very good at hiding it and who are embarrassed, what if the repercussions might be, you know, it might take some time. But for parents who truly care, and for people who, who love their kids, or vice versa, whoever it may be in the family, love between children and their parents should be unconditional. And for some people who can't, who don't have their parents or couldn't really connect with them in a way where they could feel emotionally open with them, it's sad, unfortunately. But forgive and you know forgiveness and acceptance is always key, especially when it comes to relationships. That could be with friends, with children, distant relatives. It doesn't matter, your neighbor. Forgiveness and acceptance, and just be
Right.
neighborly. Just even though you don't agree with it, you know it's just like religion. People who have different religions, they tend to bash one another, but their religions could both preach, being neighborly and accepting and loving, even though they're not loving or following their own thing. So, with my advice to anybody who's going through uh, being in any circumstances we've talked about, is just be kind, be loving, and be accepting. And with time, if you're a parent and you're hearing this, unconditional love. Unconditional love can change a kid's life forever if you let it. So don't hate. That's all I gotta say about that.
But we have to admit, shit is weird, right? You
Are you trying to
can't.
play something?
No audio. There's no audio playing. It's just audio.
Oh,
It's just video. Because I turn
oh,
off the
okay.
camera. Because I don't want people to see me applying lotion to
Oh
Panda.
gosh.
I know. I know. Plus, Panda. Hell, you've known Panda. He's needy. But yeah, when I dealt with a child coming out, my response was, okay, um, I am so sorry that you were nervous. I I'm sorry I didn't express myself better. It I kind of feel guilty that you were nervous to tell me. And it immediately made me go, "Oh, wait. I'm making all this shit about me. Damn it." And you know what? The non-gendered child that was coming out to me first, I want to brag about, was making it all about that non-gendered child. So who's being selfish? Well, everyone's being selfish. But acknowledging that you're selfish and um now I'm probably wrong in some ways, but I'm pretty sure I'm right in a lot of ways. Acknowledging, look, I'm coming from here, you're coming from there. We won't agree on stuff, but I love you. All right. Um, I do think you love me too. All right. So we're two people who love each other, trust each other, and gotcha. Well, shit. Let's hear it. Let's disagree on something. And the immediate response is, how dare you be a liberal? I hate you. How dare you be a conservative? I hate you. What do you mean we don't agree on this? You're Satan. You and me, we disagree on some stuff, don't we, brother?
Yeah, we do.
Now, I know you're a little drunk, and I'm 100% sober. But I can safely say this. You are family to me. I love you. And when you're wrong, which every time you disagree with me, you're wrong. Because I'm always right.
Mm-hmm.
In case you weren't aware. But I'm able to say you're wrong with good intentions. Most of my kids, yeah, most of my kids are wrong all the time. So are my parents, most of my cousins, a lot of my friends, most of my friends. Panda too. Everyone but me is wrong most of the time. Praise the flying spaghetti monster that I don't judge them as human beings for being wrong. Because, man, otherwise it would just be me. If you did the same, not asking Splatter, but asking everyone else that watches us now and in the future. If everyone that disagreed with you was a bad person, how long would it be till you're alone?
Yep.
Fuck cancel culture.
Right. And I think the whole problem is when it comes to certain issues like what we're talking about, is that the sides get misconstrued as there's only one side supposed to like this thing and only one side supposed to like this thing, and it can't be vice versa. When history has definitely changed, and that's been shown to be not true. But it's on both sides. It is. This whole it's on both sides, and you know
I have a good number of people, and if you watch this stream, could you please have the balls to comment? I will assume if you don't comment, you did not reach this far. Guess, just state, you'll be wrong, which political party I belong to. Because I have a good number of people shitting on me because I'm conservative and Republican. And I've got a good number of people shitting on me for being a left wing Democrat. Now, Robert Smith is the only motherfucker that seems to be brave enough to say, hey, I think you're this, and challenge me on stuff. Now, granted, Robert Smith is pretty fucking, in my opinion, others would disagree. In my opinion, I would classify him as racially insensitive and unfair to minorities.
Which is weird because if any of you out there who don't know who Rob Smith is, he is a LGBT
Yes.
black man who is a conservative.
Also, Robert Smith is the lead singer of The Cure, an
Is that who you were
English.
talking about?
No. The person, I promise, Rob Smith and Robert Smith of The Cure are not commenting on my videos. An unknown random person named Robert Smith. Common name, no one famous. They are leaving comments on my videos that I believe are authoritarian and racially insensitive. Comments on every video I upload. Never deleted any video or never deleted any comment, and I engage regularly because I don't care if you want to talk ideas. I'm on board.
You could have him on the stream once.
He
Have you
won't.
talked about doing that?
I offered it. He won't. Uh,
How come?
I also no answer. I also had a super hardcore socialist that trolled me for a bit, commented on every video, and kept asking to join on a stream. Nothing. But I'm going to say this and then wrap up this stream. And then you and me will chat in private and maybe do another stream.
Right after this one, I have to go. So
Okay, well, we won't do another stream tonight then. One of my karaoke singers, good dude, has radio experience. He wants to do a podcast. He wants to do a test run. Now, he is 10 years younger than me, so I assume he's up on stuff, right? And I'm like, hell yeah. In fact, we can even do an offline test run. He was like, would splatter person be threatened or offended if like no.
yes, I'm offended. We're canceling. Hashtag cancel Doc J.
We do stuff on his channel and it's awesome. And he does stuff on his channel without me. And I don't cry much. And I do stuff on my channel without him. So yeah, dude, no one's all shitty about it. He's like, well, I don't want to talk about politics. Yeah, okay, good. Because I don't want to talk, I don't want to debate you on politics. I mean, I feel comfortable with movies and music. Okay. I love movies. I love music. Let's do that. All right. Yeah, but you do movies with splatter person. I know I kept saying who. I did write link down on paper, and he has watched 2 videos so far.
Oh no, which one has he watched?
I don't know, and I don't care. He does say you're smart and charming. I don't know what he watched. Don't care.
Wait, well, just send the link to the YouTube channel or the other video site?
YouTube.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. All right. We're
Yeah,
good.
he's hardcore Spotify. He's like, oh, well, what do you mean you don't post on Spotify? Dude, I do YouTube. Fuck. I like Spotify. I don't watch YouTube. Here's YouTube link to Splatter Person. Anyways, I like him. He and I are political enemies. He has no knowledge of politics and no interest in politics. He is a musical badass. Really talented too. Music. In movies, man, this motherfucker knows some movies. If you can avoid politics, you and him, shit, you guys would love each other. Kind of like Video Creep.
But he's also very outspoken about that kind of stuff too. I think he's just had a lot of bad experiences with people who try to speak up for everybody on one side in particular, and those are the fuck nuggets that need to keep their mouths shut.
What I'm saying is, you and Video Creep do not agree politically. But you guys have a good friendship based on music and movies. Well, mostly movies. Right?
Right? Yeah.
I was fairly certain I had a good relationship with Video Creep. Big fan. I do think that scheduling issues, we're cursed against each other.
Right. And when are you? I'm available as of next week. I'm available Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. As of right now, would you want to try to schedule something, kind of a stream kind of thing, but like a practice run? So, would you want to try to schedule that on your channel or my channel?
Well, Tuesday, I thought we might do a a a one. If you're available Wednesday, then an offline uh movie thing.
With so and so.
The 3 of us, me, you, and I don't want to say the name because I haven't even talked to him about it yet. He's been nervous, and I said offline. And he was like, yeah, let's do that. Here's the problem. It was like, well, yeah, we'll do offline. And he said, all right, cool. Uh, what time is your studio open? Oh, man, anytime. I got my shit going. And he goes, okay. So, they don't mind if I'm over? Like, can I sleep there? Well, wait, what? No, I mean StreamYard, laptop, cell phone. Like, this is, oh, okay. So yeah, we we were hardcore, like, man, everything's great. He likes her stuff. Everything's gonna be awesome. And then it was, all right, so when can I come to your studio? You don't have internet at your house? I do. That's how I watched your stuff. Mm. All right. We'll plan this out. We'll figure this out. All good. So yeah, that's a slight delay, and that is a sign that even though he's 10 years younger than me, his awesome radio experience might not apply to YouTube.
Well, that makes sense. It's very difficult even for us sometimes who've been, we've used this for how many, what, several, almost couple of years now, haven't we? Or a year at least, using
YouTube
StreamYard and
or
everything.
StreamYard?
StreamYard, yeah.
Oh, did you use StreamYard before me?
No, I saw a video creep where he was using it, and I was like, oh, I can use that. So I used it after that, and it was free, so I
Right.
thought that was good. But I would normally, if I was gonna do a live stream, I would just go through the YouTube website and everything.
I
I would
think
just,
you,
yeah.
I think you, me, and Video Creep all came together about the same time, didn't we?
Maybe I think he's been on YouTube longer because he had other channels, and I only had smaller channels.
No, I
So
mean we all joined together, like you and me communicating, and me and him communicating, and you and him communicating.
yeah.
I think we all kind of came together around the same time.
Yeah. Well, I also think I think he gets more traffic and everything because he talks more about more relevant stuff like having to do with like the Chucky movies and everything. And he's also more consistent with his reviews, and he does his live streams and everything. So when I make videos, I just put it out. I just put one out there. I try to put one out there every week.
You
Like,
make you make videos for you.
yeah.
Um, it's real easy to get distracted with subscriber count and view count and all that shit. What's your reason for doing videos? Are you achieving that goal? If you're putting out videos for you, don't compare yourself with goals that don't apply. Right? Makes
Right.
sense?
hmm Well, it's also about, finding, hobbies and having an outlet to talk about stuff like that. Like people who do art, there's like stuff like TikTok and YouTube and Facebook have been amazing for people who do art. The people who do the pin art where it's like they go like it's like a 3D printer where they just go one side to side and it looks like it's a printer printing off a perfect picture of like, the rock or something, or people who make like the slime stuff. They get a whole, all these kids are making slime stuff and getting all over the ceiling and shit. So, YouTube and TikTok and Facebook, it's been very influential with people being creative and people having an outlet to get their arts and their passion and stuff out there. So it is very good. But the bad thing is the people like um the bold. Can I say that? Can I say that?
You can say
What?
anything you want, brother.
Okay. Well, the I don't know if I want to say it. But anyway, that um s- let's call her Susie.
If you
Uh,
want to send it in a private message, I'll say it for you.
okay. Well, this particular person um doesn't really care about the content creators
Right,
and only cares about how much money she can make and is deterring people away from her website because she only cares about who can make her the most money. And it's just irritating, and it makes people who have passion. It just makes it harder for them.
right,
I don't know if I spelled that right, but it's in private chat.
right.
But
Honestly, I don't know if you spelled that right either, but I know exactly what you're referencing. Um, you're right. It's it's sad. Like, this is a platform that came from people expressing themselves. YouTube. Now, you and me, we disagree on some stuff.
right,
And man, I love you. Your family, we are bonded, right? And
oh,
I have a YouTuber with less than 3,000 subs that I do once every other week stream with under a different name because they don't want my stuff attached to them. And we could not agree. It's impossible that any two humans could disagree more. And this person and I fight once a week. Can't, not allowed to say what day. But we're friends. We respect each other. That's why we can communicate. That's what we need more of.
yep.
All right, so damn it, I'm 4 minutes behind. Why don't you close this out?
Um, I don't know. What do you want me to say?
How about you? All right, here we go. I will give a closing statement. You first, you give a closing statement to the audience. Just what you want the world audience people that I will link to you. And then I will do that. And then we will close out with a Geeky Pixie video.
Okay.
We'll mute both our mics and call that the end. So, you first. Give us what the fuck ever to episode
Okay.
4.
Well, I guess what the fuck ever. Like I was kidding. No, if anything, if you take anything from the stream, I know I was silent for most of it because a lot of the religious stuff I can't really
Manners.
commentate on. Just being courteous. I'm not
Manners.
gonna cut him off. What do you mean?
I said manners.
Manners.
You did not have anything to add to the conversation other than
Silence.
respectful things that were sidetracks. So you were silent. You stayed silent, waited until I got to the point where I asked for input.
And I don't know if I even
Then,
answered you correctly on some of those, but
then you interacted honestly and respectfully. So yeah, you were silent for stuff. Out of manners and respect.
yeah.
Sorry,
Right.
I'm interrupting your closing statements.
Well, however, um, however, if you could take anything away from the stream is that if you have anybody in your life who's going through um, something, going through any sort of transition, take that as you will, or an emotional problems, just reach out to them and just give them all the love they you can give them, and just be friendly, neighborly, and respectful. Um, yeah, just because you disagree with somebody on a couple things doesn't mean you gotta hate them. Respectfully and honestly, being respectful and honest to people is much better than lying to people and disagreeing with them and just having a wall of hate in between you. So just be friendly, be kind, and stay awesome. Yeah.
Wow, that is beautiful, fantastic, and holy shitballs. If there is a better way to end episode 4, all right, fine, we'll try. So, all right, Splattervision, check him out. He allows me to join him on the Hollywood Morgue on loosely Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Love, friend, family, woo. Now, Panda thinks we should try to add to it. No, I'm not going to do one better. Add to it. Sorry, Panda's competitive. Anyways, we will never agree on politics. Ever. We will never agree on every topic. Ever. If we do, then we're a good percentage of us are liars, and those of us that aren't liars are bullies. You don't agree? That's okay. Panda said he has a way to measure if you're correct or not, and it apparently Panda says If you think I'm wrong, you should blow the bald guy. I'm not bald. Fine. Panda says if you disagree, you should blow the human and he can analyze. You know what, dude? I appreciate it, but no. Alright. So I'm going to ignore Panda. I'm going to do my closing statement. We will never agree on everything. If we did agree on everything, then someone's a liar. I talked about this with fucking environmental shit. Same thing applies to COVID. Same thing applies to my testicles. And the same thing applies to Panda's double chin. No, we're not talking about my second butthole. No one fucking wants to hear about that. You fucking weirdo. Sorry. Yes, I have an anal deformation. Stop judging me. Anyways, before Panda got drunk and jumped in, yes, I'm depressed, and yes, episode 4 is going to have little preaching. I did not expect, but I am blessed and thankful that episode 4 involved Splattervision. My friend, my family, my co-host. So, before we roll out and we both get muted and I play a video, anything else you want to say?
I guess I can give the people my socials and stuff like that. Where you can find me on Instagram and Twitter. If you go to, I believe, if you go to his sidebar on his channel, you'll see the his favorite channels. Right? Do they? I don't know if they still have that.
You are linked on my featured channels.
Right. So if you go on the featured channels, you go on my page banner. You click on my Instagram, my Twitter. It also has a link to my podcast, The Hollywood Morgue, which we do every other Tuesday on or Tuesday or Wednesday, depends on when Doc is free. I like to have somebody else to bounce ideas and talk about things on there with. So we talk about movies, you know, Hollywood media, and it's fun. It's fun, and
He
yeah, it's
is being
definitely.
kind. He is being kind. I have guilted him into occasionally waiting another day. He he does fantastic without me. He even did a Hollywood Morgue with a different co-host, and it was fantastic. He does not need me, but damn it, we're pretty golden together. Sorry to interrupt. I just had to add that because yes,
Uh,
every
well, it's
Tuesday, and sometimes he delays to appease me.
I guess. I mean,
Hollywood Morgue. Hollywood Morgue. Hollywood Morgue.
yes.
sorry, I sidetracked your closing statement.
No, it's okay. Um, but anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say. But anyway, yeah, check us out on that. Every other Tuesday or Wednesday, that depends. Talk about movies, music, Hollywood news, and occasionally Alyssa Milano. So if you any of those things topics interest you, definitely recommend checking that out. I believe we're gonna have a new thing we're gonna add to it. We're gonna have a will apparently, or that we decided. So we pick a topic. Actually, it sounds good. If you can pull up the wheel right now, if you have some stuff on there, and
What
we
I'm
can pick the
doing?
topic for the what?
Oh, buddy. Man, I actually have been messing with this. So if there's a past history, ignore that because I've been super excited and playing with this.
Yeah. So with this idea is if we pick a topic, that could be a genre or a just a video idea, and that's going to be the topic that we're going to talk about for that particular day. So we're going to go ahead and spin it right now.
All right. Mm, wait, let me make sure. Uh, I think that might be the wrong one. Hold on. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Because I got a save name and every. Yeah. Splatter open. Oh, actually, that was it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Well, maybe. I'm not sure. I know someone's slow. All right. Now, here we are. We have best sex scene, worst horror, best superhero C dot 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 probably cock, best female action probably something dirty, best movie song, worst sci-fi, best sex scene. All right. Yo, really want to spin this on this stream?
Um, sure. I think it'd be fun. Why not? Worst horror.
All right.
Yeah. Does that sound good to you? We're gonna talk about that next. The next time we do the Hollywood Morgue, whenever that will be, either next Tuesday, I believe. Um, we'll talk about the worst horror movies. So that's a really broad spectrum because there's pretty bad ones. But I
Well,
think we're gonna stick to the
I,
main to the main
I did.
popular one.
I did shorten that. It is. We each make a list. Uh, we said 3, maybe 5, depends how quick we go. But worst horror movies that people like.
Right.
So
Worst
it's
horror.
not right.
So it's not like just like one of those movies that's kind of like an odd and end one. This is like very unanimously hated among the horror community.
Like, we can always pick shitty horror movies, but yeah, the idea was pick our top horror movies that we like that the rest of the world hates.
Mm.
We
Makes
hate
sense.
it, everyone else loves it. Sorry, I think I said that backwards. Like, everyone loves The Exorcist. You don't like that movie. Kind of like I don't like the Godfather movie. Everyone loves it. I don't like it. I'm wrong. Everyone else is right. But this is why I feel that way. I'm wrong. This is why I feel that way. Right? Get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get it.
Like Halloween. All right. And I'm not saying this is you. I'm just using this as an example. You don't like the Exorcist movie, but everybody loves it. And you have reasons why you don't like that movie. Now, me, I don't like Halloween. Michael Myers. I don't like the movie. I have reasons, but everyone loves that movie.
Right. Well, I was gonna do that that video, a separate one about like comedies. One in particular, Napoleon Dynamite. Everybody loves Napoleon Dynamite,
Right.
but I fucking hate Napoleon Dynamite. So
And that's where I got the idea for that. And that's where I got the idea for that video.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be a good idea for a video. And Spun the Wheel, that's our next one. Well, I think we may have had one pre-planned, but the video after that.
Did we?
I was saying I think we had one pre-planned.
Or we may have. I don't remember.
All right. Well, I don't either. Anyways, boom. Fantastic. So I think I will close out episode 4 with a badass video. Again, and I warned you before that Geeky Pixie, yep, she's awesome. We're gonna fucking rock out to her. Now you have a choice. Do you know the musical artist As We Ascend?
I do not.
Okay. Do you know the musical artist 6 a.m. Prayers for the Damned?
Can I get a no for 400, Alex?
All right, Q. Then you get to choose heads or tails.
Heads.
All right. then you've chosen the closing out song. I am going to mute both of us. And when this one's done, then we will be done streaming. And come on. Here we go. All right. Last statement from you, my brother. Joined on episode 4.
Yeah. Well, I have no other statement other than I guess I will see you Tuesday at 10:30 for the Hollywood Morgue.
Tuesday, 10:30 Central Time.
Yes.
9:30 Eastern Time. Hollywood Morgue. Oh, wait. No, I'm doing that backwards. I think it's 11:30. Anyways. Your Central Time?
Yeah. Central Time.
10 Central Time.
Yes.
Hollywood Morgue. And by then, we'll have some communication with. Yeah. All right. Now, I will close out by saying this. I know I have pretty eyelashes, but that does not excuse those emails. Just saying. Unless you are from Czechoslovakia or you speak Cebuano fluently. Yeah, don't say that. All right. I love you all. Thank you. And we're going to roll out with this awesome one.
Get yourselves together. Right. Stand up and live your life. Right. Get yourselves together. Right. Hands up high. Hey. Stand up to the devil, slowly rise and clear your throat now. You can call for their demise. Speak out, don't let the status quo define you. This is your world, just put the fear back in their eyes. There comes a time when you know there's a problem. Rise up, it's the dawn of a new day. Hands up, it's gonna be okay. Even when they strangle you, get yourselves together. Strike down all that holds you. Look now, what if they sold you? Even if they anger you, get yourselves together. Get yourselves together. Get yourselves together. Stand up and live your life. Get yourselves together. Wake up. This could be your finest hour. Pick your head up and get your body off the floor. Hey now, don't be afraid to fight for something. This is your chance. You can stand for so much more.